Hello, everyone. Hello. Oh, goodness. I did not pull from the center of my yarn. Hi, everyone from Mississippi. Hi, Susie. Welcome to the chat, to the crochet along. Oh, let me see if my light works. 1 second. My light is, oh, there we go. Slightly paler, but at least it's a little bit brighter. How is everyone? We have Susie from Mississippi. She says hello to everyone, in case you're not on the YouTube comments. Hello, Meg from Pennsylvania. Ooh, I like Pennsylvania. I normally drive through Pennsylvania, but I can't say I spend too much time in Pennsylvania. But never because I don't want to. It's mainly because I'm going somewhere. But hello. It always makes me happy to see everybody. I apologize. I was a minute or two late. We have been still unpacking. As you can see, many things are now being added to put them away. So good morning. I'm streaming hoping my boss doesn't catch me. Well, sweet Facebook user. I hope you don't get caught. Hello, Christina. Hello, everyone. We're slowly getting more people. I am starting. I want to make a little dishcloth out of some cotton that I already had from my stash. Excuse my hair, please. We have been busy just packing away all the boxes that are now empty, which we should get rid of some boxes. But anyway, hi, Alicia. Hi, Karen. Ola Joe. Welcome to the chat. The chat is in the chat, and by the chat I mean the crochet along has officially, the live crochet along has officially begun because Ola Joe's here. Love your office, so organized. Thank you, Megan. This has been a project that has been going now for some time. I moved at the very, very end of 2022, literally, and it was a hot mess. My January lives, if you've been here since the January lives, you've seen this place go from boxes to more boxes to a mess to now a somewhat organized situation. But we're still going. And hopefully it will be done shortly. I've had great help. My best friend is currently here helping me organize. So shout out to my support system that I love so much. But hello, welcome everyone. It's Wednesday. It's my favorite day of the week. I honestly think it's better than a Friday because I get to talk to y'all. So, and that's not a lie. It makes me happy. I'm nervous that I'm like, what if people don't show up? And every week y'all show up and it makes me so happy. But welcome to the Crochet Foundry February week 3 crochet along live. Next week will be the what's it called? The gift card week, if you will, where I announce the winner. So I'm gonna get my link again. I wish I had it ready today, but I didn't. Today was kind of there was a lot going on, both on the Crochet Foundry side, on the works, like Furl's work side, and then also in the everyday life side of my life. So, but let me share the group. This is the Crochet Foundry Makes group. If you join this, you can see all our posts. You can see what everybody's working on. And you can enter on the, let me send the link as well to the actual post where you can win. But how's everybody doing? It's a new week. So many people saying hello. Darcy, welcome. So excited you're here. 138. I've seen you now several times. I don't know if I've gotten your name before. If I have not, I'm sorry. Or if I have, I'm sorry, I don't remember it. But welcome again. What is everybody doing? I love these chats. Look forward to every week. I do too. But if you have a project, feel free to grab it now. Start working on it. I started swatching for the dishcloths because I have a slightly thicker yarn than it calls for, but I'm using a slightly smaller hook to see if I can. Lauren, I now know forever. I heart 138. You are Lauren. But I'm using a slightly smaller hook, so I'm trying to, because I kind of want the approximate size that she gives. I believe her name is Pamela, the designer, but anyway, lovely design. And let me share now the actual post where I want to see your little make, so then you could potentially win next week. Copy the link. Copy the link. Has anybody started any new projects? Question mark. I didn't finish my other one, which was the Woodland Sunrise cropped hoodie, but I need to make the hood part. I wish I would have brought it up so I could show you where I'm at. But I've started on the dishcloths, and it's a really fun. I got this like little variegated yarn here, and I'm very excited. It was in my stash. Didn't have to buy yarn for it. Sometimes I love using my stash and what I have because it really makes me feel like it really makes me feel good. But then I also love an excuse to buy yarn. So, also, I don't know if you could. Oh, my little camera's slightly off, but it says, "I know it looks like I'm listening, but I'm really thinking about yarn." Sorry, that was like a kind of like Star Wars when it kind of goes up, but that is I as I've been sorting through my clothes, my best friend Christina, also named, was like, we should have like a Tuesday, or I was not Tuesday, a Wednesday live t-shirt pile. And so this made it to my Wednesday live t-shirt pile because it's true. If it looks, or I know it looks like I'm listening, but I'm really thinking about yarn. Truer words could not be said. Ask my husband. And yeah, that's really us right now. So, but let's see, Christina, you've gotten a small start on Hannah's. Ooh, please post pictures. I can't wait to see that. Hanjan, phenomenal designer. She's so sweet, Hannah. She has some really fun patterns that are, I'm trying to think of, there was one that it was like a tank top. Oh, she actually has a lot of patterns on her site on Crochet Foundry. So if you're looking for something and you're like, oh, I need something for summer, look at some of her stuff. She has I mean, you can do it for any season. She has so many designs that are so, so pretty. So can't wait to see that one. My light is going a little funny and I don't know why, and I apologize. But thank you, Nancy. I also love this shirt. This is also another Tony Lipsy shirt. I got this like 2021, if I'm not mistaken. I believe my husband got it for me. But anyway, I have my yarn that I'm very excited about to see how it works up. I mean, and then I have my trusty dusty Furls Cruella hook, which it's just so fun. Like, I'm obsessed with it. Anyway, but then, okay, so Christina, you started on something. I've seen some other people. I've seen some great whips so far, and I can't wait to choose a winner next week. So if you're new to the chat, welcome to our Crochet Along Live. We meet every week on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Central, which is 5 p.m. London time for me. And it's so nice because it's actually each week it's lighter and lighter, and it's not as dark as it was like the first January one, which is great. But yeah, we gather around, we chit chat about yarn, we chit chat about crochet, we chit chat about furls, hooks, all the stuff, all the good stuff. And we have some laughs, and we've had some newbie crocheters that get advice from everybody. It's not just me. I like to read people's comments, and it's really fun. So yeah, please always feel free to ask questions. But the crochet along is basically you just have to make a Crochet Foundry design pattern. We have so many different options, from like sweaters. We even have like, like bottoms, like shorts, pants, shawls, so many options. We have, our monthly magazine, if you wanted, that will have usually 5 to 7 patterns from the last, I think since June of last year was when we started doing monthly. And then other issues also have way more because they were quarterly. And then you can also just buy them by themselves. So if you see a pattern that you really like and you're like, I don't need 5 other ones, sure, just grab that one. And then you will comment a picture of your work in progress, so your whip, post a picture, and in one of the links I sent above on that post Feb Cal whip picks here to enter to win, and you will be entered to potentially win. The winnings will be, the prize, I should say, will be a Furls Crochet gift card. So it's very exciting. Every week I I say this all the time, but it's kind of fun. But one thing I was thinking about earlier today, because I was checking one of the emails for Pam, our lovely best friend Pam from Furls. If you see our emails, they literally say Pam from Furls. I was checking her emails just to because we like look over grammar or just any mistake, anything like that, right? And one of her questions was, "Are you a pencil grip versus knife grip?" And then I also remembered I had asked this question a long, long time ago on one of our social media posts, like pencil or knife, I think. Um, and I loved hearing. So I want to hear what y'all how do y'all hold your hooks? I have like I feel like normally furls hook users do tend to sway more towards knife, but there's actually a lot of pencil grip crocheters out there that use furls. So and also you don't have to use furls, just to let you know. But obviously since we're connected, I normally do mention furls hooks. But yeah, what do y'all I'm very curious how do y'all hold your hooks because I do this, so I guess it's pencil, but I don't necessarily like where do I there we go. I don't necessarily put my finger up here. I just kind of have it down here and move my little hands. But it's actually super fun to watch people crochet because I'm like, my hands don't move like that. But anyway, I would like to hear how y'all hold your amazing crochet hooks. I'm gonna scroll through the comments first. Miss Victoria, last week on Saturday, I was in Times Square. You were at the Vogue Knitting Live event. I heard so many great things. Karen, I think this is you. I can't see who it is, but Karen, I do think this is you. If so, that's amazing. I can't believe you were there. You're so lucky. Oh my goodness. I hope you had a great time. I had a great time looking at the pictures. Um, Let's see. Lindsay. Yeah, so we actually have a lot of the time we'll release a pattern, or I'm sorry, a kit with furls, and then eventually, normally about a month or so, depending on the pattern, it will then get like you can go straight, it'll go straight to Crochet Foundry and you can get just the pattern there. So for example, a really popular one was Jonah's Teza throw. That one we have the kit, but then we also have just the pattern available on Crochet Foundry. So if you're ever curious, like you already have the yarn, you don't need the whole kit type thing. Like if you don't want the kit, always check Crochet Foundry because we most likely will have just the pattern available. It's really fun. I like that because even though I do love buying yarn, there's times where it's like, oh, I already have the yarn, or I have like a project in mind, and then I see the pattern and I'm like, ooh, that's kind of what I wanted to make. And I already had the yarn in mind, so then I just grab from a stash. So yeah, so always make sure, if you're thinking, well, I don't need the kit, let me just check Crochet Foundry because we most likely have it. So that's a very good question. Thank you for asking that, Lindsay. And let's see, I'm going to read a couple more before I start scrolling to the pencil and knife answers because I'm very curious. Christina, Christina, you got some cherry hooks? Yeah, y'all, I think they're gone at this point. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But we had a great cherry sale. I mean, anytime we discontinue a hook at Furls, I get a little sad because I normally I love all of our hooks. No lie. I can tell you my least favorite, and it's only because of the coloring, because I'm not a coffee drinker, which is a little shocking to a lot of people. Two, I don't love like certain colors of brown. And so the cafe hook was not my favorite. I still liked it because I actually have some and they're so pretty because I do like how it looks like literally like milk and like coffee, like that kind of swirl. But then it's that lighter brown, like tan that I don't love, but I do like that kind of deep, rich brown. I did like so. I still like those hooks, but those were technically my least favorite. But I'm just being honest here. But we did a sale like that and it was super fun. And but it is sad to let them go. I felt sad even for cafe. But anyway, I hope you were able to get some cherry and jumbo. We did release a jumbo hook, which is so fun. Ola Joe, knife grip. Okay. Kelly, she's a saber gripper. Interesting saber gripper. I've never heard it like that. I am very curious, Kelly. I'd like to know. Lindsay, knife, but I'm doing Tunisian. I flipped to pencil. Interesting. I'm so interested. Okay. I Tunisian crochet as well. I haven't done it in a minute. But I can't say that my grip changed when I Interesting. I'm so curious. I wish I could, like, get a video of this. See, this is why, like, I love these convos because everybody does it so different, and then that's what I'm sure it's like all of us, knife grippers, if we watched each other crochet, I'm sure my hand moves so much more different than how your hand moves. It's so wild. I love this. I'm a dork. Like I love this stuff. Um, Daisy. I'm a pencil holder, but with the furls, I'm a knife holder. Versatility, Daisy. We love a little versatility. Um, I tried to do pencil and I can't say I have to try more. There's Megan, who is our warehouse manager. I know she's quite versatile. I mean, she's also incredibly talented with anything she does. Like anything she does with her hands, she's like, "Oh yes, I can woodwork and I can build this and I can." She's awesome. But she said she does both depending on. I think versatile like that. Kudos to you, Christina. You're a pencil. Interesting. I'm so intrigued. Cause like I I genuinely like it's very I can see how it would work. I mean, obviously it works. It's just it's kind of similar like with knitting. Like I hold my working yarn on my left hand, and then I love watching people that do it on their right. So then they like do the more like throwing it. I am mesmerized. I just watch all the time. But go back to that's so interesting. Megan, that's such an interesting also theory. Also, I told my team that you like make axes and I thought because I thought it was the coolest thing. So by the way, the team now knows that there's a really cool seller named Megan who makes axes. So, um I will say I had my what I've changed normally or like what I noticed is that I normally like I used to really kind of hold it up there like I would but then my little pointer finger, is that what it is? I don't know my fingers. It would kind of get a little sore after a minute. So eventually I kind of started holding it down here, which I do feel like is where you kind of get more of that benefit with the ergonomic hook. And super comfortable. And I really that's how I've noticed my kind of style change a little bit and also how I hold the one thing I mean I for sure I used to little like wrap my yarn and my tension was super super tight. And then it would actually I feel like I've normally I've had more issues with like my working yarn hand in general after I kind of figured out this where I was like, "Oh, I can just hold it slightly lower and it works." And so I kind of do a very loose grip, but then I do work with it really well. And I do a lot more of like the spin almost where I spin it more. But yeah, I've changed a lot how I hold my yarn. I used to do like the twist and then I think I twisted it in my pinky and then I did that, but I didn't love how that felt. So now I intertwine it. So that's where I've seen more of the change with me and how I hold my working yarn. Um, Ola Joe, thank you for that. I'm putting that up just in case you needed an M or an M or an N. We still have those in cherry for a great price. So if y'all want to try it or you just need bigger size hooks, now is your chance. Darcy, your pencil. I'm seeing more pencil than I thought. And this is what which is fine. We have sometimes people kind of chit chat and, email us in and say, why don't you make hooks for pencil grippers? And we're 100% listening to anybody who has said that. And please know that is something we are trying to see how we can like make well. Um, but I remember there was just a customer that I was personally helping, and she refused to believe that anybody that was pencil could work with the furls. And I think that's honestly just because she wasn't comfortable with it, and that's where it's like, do not feel like you have to use a furl hook, y'all. Like I maybe shouldn't say that, but I mean honestly, anybody on the team would genuinely say that because if you don't want to like kind of change how to hold the hook and the hook's not working well with you with how you already hold it, that's okay. Like I'm not mad at it. So anyway, I'm going to keep scrolling. Knife, Alicia, your knife holder. And interesting. I sometimes use knives when doing bulky ammies. Again, Darcy, you're a versatile person and I am very jealous. It's kind of like I genuinely, there's some things I can't like wrap my head around, and like I can feel my brain struggling when I try to learn pencil. I do kind of want to eventually because I feel like it's kind of like learning to drive an automatic car and then learning stick shift. Like I would like to know both, especially now because I live here in the UK and it's cheaper to rent cars that are anyway. Besides the point, I digress. But ooh, this is an interesting question about why are we, let's see, why are we getting other hooks instead of the ones we want? Like, oh, lightly touch this. I feel like I probably have to lightly touch on this every week because it's kind of like the elephant in the room. Is that how you say it? I don't really know how to say how to like sayings. Certain products are already so far in production that we can't stop it. So we actually had some other things planned, but we've had to change that because we don't want to, we're reshifting our focus to try to get the other ones. And then at the same time as that, because of the issues we are having with Metal and Odyssey, if we completely stopped everything else at the rate of what we're going right now with Odyssey and Metal, we would have nothing. Um, and then also there's a lot of people who do really still like the streamline hooks. So I won't go much more into that. I like to touch on it probably once a week. And what's funny is at the very beginning of the January, I was like, I'm not really gonna talk about this, but I don't want to ignore you. Not just you specifically, Shayna, but just anyone in the comments. So that's like, for example, we've had like a couple new colors, not a lot, and that's because the couples that we are releasing are the ones that are just so far ahead in production that if we stop it, then like we can't actually stop it. Like our vendor would not allow us to. Um, and then with the scarcity of especially for Metal, the one that we're really really struggling to like actually manufacture because of like the way it's made, we have to pivot. So that's what I'll say. I mean, that's literally the truth. And that's something that as a team we meet and talk about, I would say 2 to 3 times a week. So, because we feel very strongly about it. So yeah, anyway, I will now no longer be addressing this today. I normally repeat myself, so anybody who's here a lot, I do apologize. But I do like to address this because I know people are curious and I know people are asking and I don't want to ignore you. Okay, so anyway, any more questions? Let's see. Um, oh, Sharina, you asked a couple of times. I hope you were able to see this. I can't see like who is there or not, so I hope you heard that part of my life. Let's see. When I knit, Christina, interesting. When I knit, I hold my working yarn in my right hand. I'm a thrower. So cool. This is where it's like I want to start doing more of like in-person crocheting groups because I am kind of like I do find it really fascinating how even if we hold it the same way, our hands move so differently. Like I hadn't thought about it until I was in a meeting with our team like at Furls and I saw my colleague Megan like crocheting and her hand just moved in like such a different way. I was amazed. So, anyway, again, I'm always nerdy about this. I've been working black on cherry wood making some crochet hook holders. They're awesome. Oh, that's so good to know, Megan. I'm gonna pop that up there. I love to share little comments, so it's not just me reading them. Everybody can see them. Um, I think that's so cool. I think what's kind of funny is that Virls literally started as like a what's it called? Like Harrison started this like by hand, literally, and it grew into this great business. And now we're here, and I'm here in the UK, and we have such a huge community, and I love it. So it's really cool that you're also doing kind of this. Like, I think that's super fun. Um, and interesting, Christina. I think yeah, I think you're right. Like, we understand why people want the Odyssey hooks and metal hooks. Like, I really love the Odyssey hooks. But I personally use all the hooks. Like I'm very a hook to a yarn to a like pattern pretty much. Like and sometimes if it's a color difference, like I'm just a very visual person. I do enjoy using a hook that looks nice. And then also I enjoy using a hook that kind of matches. If I can. But yeah, everybody likes their own thing. So I totally understand frustration coming from Odyssey only holders or Odyssey only like users. I should not holders, but you know what I mean. But anywho, and okay, interesting. Kelly, I'm gonna pop you up because this saber grip is so cool to me. Kind of like a knife grip, but with extreme tight tension. Each movement looks like you're holding a saber trying to stab. I don't know if I expected this, but Kelly, I hope those near you are not close enough to get the saber. So, but let's see. Rosemary, hello. Okay, I'm Proof 54 year pencil grip and I use furls. Now, given it did take me a while to adapt, I learned with steel hook and cotton thread. But I'm too trying to switch a knife grip because of I think it cut off, but oh, there you are. Arthritis. Have gone to worsted and thicker yarns. I completely stopped because of arthritis furls. Okay, now that we've all read that part one, I'm gonna go to part two right here. That's awesome. I think I would never personally, because I see a lot of the emails come through. Um, and if anybody's asking, I can't use this hook, I can suggest someone like, oh, they do work a little like you may have more success if you hold it as a knife grip, but then I would never say, oh, you need to change. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to change anything. It really is preference, and that's the thing. It's like Rosemary, like I love Rosemary. I'm gonna go Rosemary because it's spelled like that. I apologize for any incorrect spelling or pronunciation. I think that's great. I do think it's kind of fun. Like I love that you're able to crochet again. Um, and you did what you had to do, which was, use the thicker yarns and stuff like that. And I think that's great. Like at least you still have that joy of crocheting. But yeah, I personally think like I mentioned earlier, it's kind of like driving a car. You want a little bit like you want to learn not you. I want to learn stick shift because I don't know how and I feel like it's just a good tool, right? So that's how I feel kind of with this where I also want to learn pencil because what if down the road for my hands that ends up working better. So I think that's kind of cool. It's really fun. You learn you really learn, I feel like this sounds silly. You really learn about yourself, but you really do learn about kind of your hands and what works for you when you're doing something like this. It's the same with knitting. Like my knitting style has changed and the way I was taught, like my grandmother taught me both crochet and knitting. The way I was taught is uh, she taught me how to like do the working yarn. So I feel like that's why I always did even this when I crochet and now I don't. And now I'm curious because that was a long time ago. Now I'm curious how my grandmother would hold her yarn if her style has changed. So anyway, that was just I had that thought and I was like, I'm gonna ask people at the live because it and then her third Pam, back to the email, did have a third option of like I use both equally, and I thought that was a pretty fun option because I like my mind can't process that. But anyway. Oh goodness. Anyway, it is Wednesday. We're having a good time. As a reminder to those, just in case, because I can't see like individually like who's on or not, I do want to remind people of the crochet along potential not potential, it's a prize, but you could potentially win a prize and it's a gift card from Furls, $25 gift card. It will be announced next week, the 22nd. Let me look at my today's on the 22nd. So stay tuned next week. Join us. You could potentially win if you post a picture of your what's it called, of your work in progress, and I will select a winner. I've shared a link to the post where you need to share your picture. There was one, or I can't remember. I have her written down. I have you written down if you're listening. You posted outside of the post, that's fine. I can quickly add you in there. But the post I just shared is where you need to, if you want to enter to win, that's where you need to go. It's that easy. You don't have to be done. You don't have to be halfway through. You could have literally started a swatch or kind of like literally what I'm working on is like a little swatch. And that's it. It's that easy. We like casual. We like no added stress. This is for fun I know there's a couple of us who kind of only work on our project like while we do the live. I was doing that, but I had a big project, so I had to pause, and that's why I wish I had it again, my other one. Now I wanna start the dishcloth, so it'll be fun to kinda go through different patterns with y'all. If you ever need any suggestions, feel free to either comment here or feel free to send us an email because I check all the kinda is that true? Yes, that is true. I do check all the Crochet Foundry emails, and if you ever were like, "Hey, I kinda want more of a t-shirt," and I can send you a couple links of some of the really fun ones. And yeah, this is kinda just we hang out, we chit chat. We One of my favorite conversations was for sure hearing somebody share how they have a friend who makes yarn out of their dog's hair. So you never know what you're gonna get here. Um, it can be very on topic and it can be sometimes I don't know if we've had very off topic conversations. I can't feel like we have. Or I can't say that we have. I don't really remember that, but and then I haven't had time to take a picture of my progress this week. You're totally fine. You have until the 22nd, Darcy. No rush. Um, I normally even I'll start the live and then I'll say anybody that needs to add it in throughout the live, feel free to. So you'll be fine. I also know I need to make sure you're there because I want you to. I'm sorry, I forgot my dog was laying on the floor and he scared me. But Darcy, no worry, you have time. You have next week. You will also see that next week I will be in a different location. I kind of don't want to ruin the surprise of where I'll be, but I'm sure you can maybe guess. Maybe not, I don't know. But next week will be a different location and it will be really fun. Let's just say that I'll be in a different time zone. But it'll be great. I can't wait to see y'all. And Darcy, our conversation has always been in the realm of yarn work. Thank you. I thought so too, because I do like to stay somewhat in the world of yarn, but then also I know that I can get very distracted. I'm sure y'all could tell by now. So that will be I did think we had stayed. I was genuinely trying to think. I was like, I don't think so. But thank you. I appreciate Darcy. And I know you would be a great judge of this because you've been here, I think, since week 1. So thank you for always joining me. It's so fun. I love it. Let's see. Hi. Oh, you're new on your channel. Welcome to the channel, Lydia. We're happy you're here. I am wrapping this one up because it's 5:35. We're happy you're here though. I hope you can join us next week. I will hopefully have really started on my dishcloth because I want to finish my gauge swatch and then I want to get started on it so I can show you all next week. I think it'll be fun. We can maybe have a special guest. I'm not sure. I haven't really planned the next week's out. But oh wow, we're getting so many new people saying hello. Let's see. Hi. Oh, hi everyone. I'm just gonna put the latter hellos to say hello. Adia Yarn Arts. Thank you for joining us. Are you working on anything? I'm curious. But I hope you all have a great every single time. I think this is a Friday and it's not. And I want to say weekend, but it's not. So I hope you have a great rest of your week. If you're looking for something to start, peruse Crochet Foundry. We have it divided up into home decor, garments, and I think like potentially like I don't know if we have a subsection of the garments, but we have garments, home decor, accessories. So if you're looking for something, oh, I'm gonna pop this up because I think that's a really fun project. I've seen also really fun like where you hang your plants. And I know that's not the same thing, but it made me think of that. But that's a really fun project. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. But anyway, I do have to wrap this up. I wish I could stay here forever. That would be a very long time. Arme, and then let's see, Lydia. I'm going to be crocheting it. So I'm making a little gauge swatch now, which is just, I think it's half doubles. Yes, I've been doing half doubles. But because I'm using a slightly larger, a thicker yarn or a bigger yarn or heavier weight yarn, but a smaller hook. So I'm going to see how that comes out. But yeah, everybody, Thank you for being here. Like I said, if you want to enter to win a gift card next week, post your whip picture in this thread. And next week we will pick a winner. It will be great. And I can't wait to see y'all. But I mean, enjoy your week. I hope you make some fun things, crochet or knit some fun things. And yeah, can't wait. Bye, y'all.